Welcome to TurnipGames. I'm Ryan.
I'm Rob.
And this is our
seventh
podcast.
This will be our seventh. Oh, wait, no, there was an issue with the sixth one, so this is the new sixth one.
New sixth podcast.
This is the new sixth podcast. Issue with the last one is Mark was in it.
Oh, God.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
There was some sound in it there were some issues with the sound in it. Nintendo wasn't happy. Nintendo was not happy with it.
That sucks.
Yeah, so we've got a new setup sort of here where we're just playing music in the background. It's a big shuffle playlist, so I can't really say, but hopefully you guys can hear it and you'll notice some songs, some you won't hear, and some you won't know what they are. But
how do you get away with that, though? There are so many people that get away with...
You gotta talk over it, and if you get noticed, you can appeal to it and say that, you put commentary over it or whatever. But for no-name channels kind of like ours, it can take months or they just won't even review it. If you're someone like PewDiePie or one of those huge guys, they look at it that day. They have a team that just checks.
Well, what happens with people doing walkthroughs that don't talk through them?
You're not supposed to be able to...
Sometimes
it won't pick it up. Some of my old Majora's Mask ones, it didn't pick up. Mm-hmm. But when I applied for a partnership and stuff, and people actually looked over it, they go, wait, this isn't okay. And they started flagging some of mine, so I didn't apply for the thing. So anyway, that's my old channel. It's not this one. So anyone that's checking those things, looking at this channel, that's not on here. So don't worry about it. All my videos are legit. So first topic, we've got a list this time because I noticed the times without lists kind of turn into shit shows. My title here is recent gaming stuff. Because you were over 2-3 nights ago?
Yep.
2 or 3 nights ago. I just wanted to run down kind of what we've been up to.
Yeah, good old days, good times.
You showed up, and we played a little Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast. Played with VMUs a little bit. And then after that, played a weird little game named Seaman.
Yeah, I love Seaman.
We played Seaman for the Dreamcast. The game utilizes the Dreamcast microphone, and beat the game in one night by abusing the date and time settings.
Oh, that was so fun.
If you guys know Animal Crossing, how that works on a real world clock, it works the same way, but it's on the Dreamcast, so you can change the time on Animal Crossing.
Oh yeah,
well, yeah, on whatever system you're playing, your GameCube, or change the time on your DS.
Oh yeah, I've done that on my DS.
Yeah, and abuse it. You can do the same thing on Seaman, but you grow this weird fish guy with a human face, and at the end of the game, I won't spoil it.
Yeah.
But it's a little expensive to get with the microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that sum might be a little... Maybe bump it down 2. Yeah.
But,
fine. Yeah, but then we went out shopping. We did some game shopping.
Yeah, I like how you say shopping, but then you have to specify game shopping.
It has to be game shopping. You can't just go, I went shopping.
Yeah.
Video game shopping.
The only time going shopping is okay for a guy is if you're playing Pokemon, X or Y, and you gotta get some new clothes for your character.
I was gonna say condom shopping or retro games.
Oh, that, yeah, well.
Hey, just make sure you don't pick up the first one, though. Those things are useless.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Judging by the way you're here, I can tell. They don't work. Anyhow, yeah, so what did you pick up when we went game shopping?
Well, since we played Seaman, luckily the place that we went to it was missing the manual, the cover, but I found that on eBay, so that was good. So you were able to complete the set? Yes, I found the microphone with the game, which is apparently rare. Yeah, it's pretty rare to find them both together. He obviously knew what he was doing to have them both out together. Yeah, and they were in good condition, so that was great. Have you tested it? No, but I just looked at the microphone and it seemed fine. It looked fine. The game disc I didn't test, sadly. I want to, it had some light scratches, but, games so disc can still play, so. Yep. What else? Did I get anything? Oh, yeah, I got a memory card for the Dreamcast. A Mega memory card. Mega memory card, yep. And a PS2 controller. Yes. PS2 controller. Which I got for $10 instead of $15. Yep. And then, as for me, I picked up Kirby Superstar for the Super Nintendo, Super Mario Bros. 2 for the NES, Mrs. Pac-Man. I actually got that for my mom.
She's
Did
big.
you tell her about it?
Yeah, I gave it to her.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but it's in it's on my game cabinet, but it's hers when she wants to play it. And something else. I thought a fourth thing, a VMU.
Yeah.
I bought a blue see-through VMU.
I got a kind of jelly there. I kind of wanted that.
Oh, that one?
Yeah, that looks so cool.
I looked into it. I believe that came with a special see-through blue Dreamcast.
Oh,
and she gave it to me for $4. My standard VMU, my white one, was $5. So I got probably a really rarer thing for cheaper. That thing was probably $10, $12 if you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That and then on the topic of video game pickups, I had my neighbor over last night. I haven't seen him in 7 months, and he's in his late teens, and in that time you don't really care too much about your childhood stuff just yet. You're not far enough away from it that you get the feels from it. You just kind of want to do what you want to do, and he's got a movie he's going out to see, and he's buying the new Call of Duty or something, but he's $20 short for going out today with his friends. So this is last night, and I'm like, hey, you and your brother were telling me your N64's been there in that box since you moved here 10 years ago. If you need some money and you're not using it, you want to show me what you got? And he's like, yeah, sure. And then, so he had an N64. He had some controllers. He had most of the cables for everything. I have the cables that he doesn't have, so that's fine. And I ended up buying an N64 off him for $20.
Oh my gosh.
With an expansion pack. The expansion pack's $18.99, the cheapest one I could find on eBay.
Oh.
And, he's giving me 2 official controllers for $10.
You just ripped him off.
I told him how much they were on eBay.
And he just...
And he says, I don't have an eBay, and I need the money for tomorrow.
Wow, so he was desperate.
Yeah, and I really don't think it's a movie and a game he's going to buy.
Yeah.
With that $80, and you need it really quick by tomorrow, and you're going to see some friend somewhere. Whatever you're spending that money on. And so, my sister's been playing my N64 for a while, and I just gave it to her last night. I was like, here's your own N64.
That was very nice of you. Wait, does it work?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
The expansion pack even works. We played Majora's Mask on it.
Oh, good.
So that's enough of our own little... Oh, you got some toys and stuff.
Well, yeah, but I wanted to ask you, were the controllers the original, the grays, or did you get a green?
2 of them, the 2 official ones I haven't seen. The one he gave me with the console was a Super Pad or a Mad Catz, a crap one.
Yeah.
The other 2 he says are official, but he didn't tell me what colors they are.
So you didn't get those yet?
No, not yet.
So why didn't you get them?
I'm here.
When he had his... But you got the N64.
No, he left them at his friend's house down the road. He's been playing over at their house, and he brought the controllers there, and he left them. So he said, I'll meet you tomorrow. And I ended up coming here, so I'm not there. Okay. I'm meeting him tomorrow when he gets back from school. And,
okay.
He's got a Genesis, and he claims... He's not sure, but he claims it's an official controller and some games, and he said he'd give me that whole set for $20.
Oh my gosh, you know all the cool people.
It's one person, he's just stupid.
Yeah, but you get lucky. You get lucky with systems and shit.
With systems and playing games especially.
Yeah.
I pull off so much junk that I didn't even know was known to be difficult. Just all the time. Especially, I know you don't play them, but MMO games. Say RuneScape or World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy XI, I just happen to meet incredibly powerful or influential players and become friends with them day 1 or 2.
Damn. Do you suck them off?
No, I'm just an asshole, and then they talk to me. And usually they're telling me off, and then I continue talking to them.
Nice.
They'll private message me to yell at me, and then I'll add them as a friend, and I'll be like, oh, dude, wait, how do I do this? And then I just become friends with them. I was playing Final Fantasy XI, and there was this multi-thousand player clan or something, and I realized at the end of 8 hours of this person showing me around that he was the leader of it. He's here's $100,000 dollars in the game or whatever, and then he ran me to the last town in the game, bought me the best weapon, and just was like, hey, have fun.
Huh. Oh, nice guy.
Yeah, my second day playing. Oh, okay.
Nah, if I would have tried that, I would have died. He would have killed me.
He would have led you off in the wilderness and killed you. Yeah, okay, let's keep moving, though. But actually, the next topic is another...
I didn't say the toys that
Oh, that's on the list, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I kind of want to go around toys, because we'll talk about toys.
Oh, okay.
Last thing that I did get recently, though, was my Tales of Symphonia Chronicles box set. And anyone who's into that, it's pretty sweet. It's $100, but there's 2 games in it, so I figure that's fine.
It looked amazing.
Comes with an art book and, 4 figurines, 5 if you count the cat. Yeah, just look into it if you're a Tales fan. If you're not, then I'll keep moving now. And here's the first thing we were talking about as I came over today. That is a big topic that we should probably touch on. Again, we talk about it every time, I think. That and it's Super Smash Brothers. The new Super Smash.
Good old Smash Bros. Series.
Now, what you brought this up, I guess I'll start with this. And something that's been concerning me as well is, what if it sucks?
Yeah.
Super Smash was always pretty good. Then Brawl, by no means bad, but I noticed a slight change in direction. It's a different developer. And I'm just I'm wondering if that small curve to being a shittier game continues, it takes 2-3 games to become then average or not good. Mm-hmm. If each one's a small step down, they add up. If this one's even a small step down from Brawl, that's not cool. I think they're going to hedge all their bets on it, though, and really pull out all the stops. I'm hoping. But then having seen Yoshi's New Island, I'm not sure. They might be spreading the resources too thin. Trying to do too much and backpedal now that they're in trouble.
Yeah.
And I feel like they might skimp on Super Smash.
Yoshi's New Island was in development for a while, because I remember seeing just a little snippet last year or so.
Mm-hmm. They had time.
And then it finally came out, and we're not even on that subject yet.
No, we're not.
For Smash Brothers, it's kind of concerning, because, the Wii U isn't doing well.
No, very poorly, actually.
And yet, I'm glad that they're not just giving up on it, they're still trying.
Well,
but
that's the thing,
Let's say Smash Brothers comes out this year, let's say, and it doesn't get pushed back, What's to say they're not going to try to just start a new system?
Well, that's kind of what I wanted to lead into here, is that they kind of, a lot of people are saying that the Wii U's just on a planned, they call it planned obsolescence, which is, I don't know if I'm saying that properly, where you plan a time frame for something to become obsolete and you move on to the next. And a lot of technology things do work that way. There's console lifetimes. Mm-hmm. When the PS3 came out, they stated right off the bat, this is a 10-year console lifespan. You can expect games to be released for about 10 years.
Okay.
The average is 4 to 6. PS3 kind of brought in this new era of that they're way longer, because PS3 came out in 2006, I believe, here.
All right.
And there's still games for it, and it's about to hit 2016.
Yeah.
They're about within 2 years, so it's about right. Mm-hmm. PS4 is out, but games released for another 2 years after generally. The Wii U is looking to have a 2.5 year. 2.5 to 3 year cycle, because they've already announced that new system, that quality of life system, and to announce that within a year and a half of the launch of your last console is kind of pulling a Sega, a late 90s Sega thing.
Yeah, but wait, that...
And people are saying they're just trying to kill it off and move on to the next, since this one's a failure.
So, one thing I didn't get is they made that Wii, they made another Wii, it was smaller and more portable.
The mini Wii.
Yeah, and I thought that was a complete waste of time.
A lot of people in Canada are buying that.
I don't know why.
I don't get it. It's cheaper than...
It is, but I guess it's better than getting a Wii U. But then you have that new life thing coming out, but that's not geared. That's just working out. That's like a whole system.
What they've claimed and what they're promising, literally promising, is that this will not impact their flagship series, your Mario, your Zelda, your Metroid, your F-Zero, your Yoshi. It will not impact that. You won't have to go buy this game system that's about exercising to continue playing the next big releases. It won't. Oh, thank God, this song came on. I love this song. I hope they can hear it, this Inuyasha song. They claim that their main series will not be moving over. This is separate from their video game line. This is another thing they're just going into, like how Nintendo used to do trading cards, and this is just another branch.
Okay.
It's not the next step in their game line.
But would you put it past them to be like, oh, well,
nope.
We were deciding...
I wouldn't put it past them to have one with Link, and then have one with Mario, and, like, why wouldn't they?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want, for my, like, Zelda collection, to have to miss a game and have to go buy this dumbass system I don't want, and get this, because then I'll be missing one forever, no matter how bad it is. Like, Link's crossbow training is at least on the Wii, a system that I would want otherwise. And, like, Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land is on Game Boy Advance, where there's other good games on it. I don't want one that's like I have to go buy a Zelda game for like a treadmill.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to deal with that. Anyhow, I'm afraid they're going to skimp on Super Smash because they're just trying to cut the dead weight of the Wii U. There's only so much money that they'll throw into it, knowing if there's 6 million consoles out there, and, like, say 1 out of 6 people, even if they sell us a million, the most they can sell is 6 million copies of this game.
Yeah, no, it seems like they want to try to get more for their bang after, like, go out on a bang, you know? It's like, with these games being released, just have one kind of okay seller and then just move on to the next system.
Yeah, it seems like they want to get out the ones that they've promised. Make their Zelda game, make their, like, 2 new 3D Mario games, make their Super Smash, and move on.
Yeah, this would probably be the shortest system from them.
Well, they've already months ago announced the next system's coming. If you consider that quality of life system as their next thing.
I just feel like they should. I really wish they could have done that. Is for people who bought theirs for that $350 price, give them something for it, because that's just I know there's no way of proving.
We're just getting ass blasted.
Yeah, like, I wish I still have my receipt. I wish I could just take it back to GameStop and be like, can I get some refund on this? Because, like, if the system only lasted, you know, so long...
A year and a half in North America...
I feel like I've wasted so much money. Oh, it just
like, you would actually return your Wii U?
Not return, just get some sort of store credit or something that I could put towards something else.
Like,
take off $100.
Nintendo's been talking about people that are earlier adopters, and based on how many Nintendo games you buy new per year, giving those people a discount.
They mentioned that.
Yes, they've been talking about that.
But see, with me, they don't have a lot of good games out, so yeah, I buy my new all the time, but I only have about 8, maybe 7 games.
I think what he was saying was someone that buys like 4 or 5 of our games a year should be easier for them to continue buying our games then. Like, to give them some kickback, because he said we could look into, if you're giving us that much profit, we'd rather you buy a few more games and take a few % off than you stop buying.
Yeah, that's
right?
what I'm pretty much going to do.
It's zero versus, like, some lower profit. And I think that's really nice. They'd be the first game developer to really implement.
How would they do that, I wonder?
I would say your Club Nintendo, how many you register.
Wow, yeah, they could look at the Wii U purchases, and be like, oh,
no, not just Wii U, 3DS as well.
Oh, well, I have so many 3DS games, because it's a freaking great system.
Yeah, but it would probably be ones purchased after the start of this thing, whenever this launches, and which would also draw people to buy more, which would be awesome for them right now. We get back on the topic of Super Smash, they know how many people own their consoles, and they know it's not many. So there's only so much resources they'll be willing to throw at this Super Smash.
Yeah.
Knowing how limited its sales are.
Because no one's going to buy, who hasn't bought the Wii U yet, I doubt they're going to buy it just for that game, Smash Brothers. Because one game.
I believe at the time Brawl came out, the Wii probably already had 10 or 15 million units out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Brawl was definitely now a launch title.
And now they could literally throw all their money into Brawl and still make a profit. And this new Super Smash is so iffy. Now, it is coming out on 3DS as well. Which
I like that idea.
So...
Finally.
They're definitely going to recoup a lot on that.
Yeah.
So they probably are going to go balls deep. I don't have like some big conspiracy that they're trying to skimp us and make us buy systems and just kill them real quick to make a quick buck.
I hope that's not their cycle. I really just hope.
Well, they're not, because they're losing money. So there's no way this is for a quick buck. They're losing money. They need to fix it. But yeah, and what we were talking about last night then is what I really wanted to get into. We've already gone into how bad things are going, but what would be cool to kind of fix it is some more third-party characters. I I haven't always been the biggest fan of that in Super Smash, but it's looking like that could really be the way of the future for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but for me, I would like third-party characters, but I also want them to not get rid of their already made roster. Like, I want to have...
I'm not saying in place of characters, but like...
No, but, I mean, you could fit how many characters realistically on that game. I don't know if it would be... I want 50 characters for this game, but I doubt we'll ever get close to that. I'm thinking 35, maybe 40 for this game. I really hope 50, but I doubt it.
I think what would be fair would be like 35 Nintendo characters and 10 third-party characters.
That would be amazing. They had 35 Brawl characters, or 35 or 34 Brawl characters, the whole roster. But that would be great if they make it 35 lockdown Nintendo characters, and then the rest, 45, another 10 for third-party. That'd be sweet.
That would be really cool. And... all these third-party things is they're having issues getting third-party developers on the system.
I wonder why.
And, well, I went into that in an earlier podcast about how hard it was to develop for the Wii U. Mm-hmm. And what third-party characters in Super Smash would do for Nintendo is that it would start the relationship somewhere, extending your hand out, like, hey, would you like to have your character in our game? Super Smash smells well. I was going to say smells. Sells well. It'll get your character out there, drums up hype. Like, no one, like in America at least, and between me and my friends, I never knew anything about Metroid until I saw Samus. And I never knew anything about F-Zero until Captain Falcon was in Super Smash.
Yep.
And I never knew, say, Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
Super Smash really brought Fire Emblem, and I know these are like first-party characters. At least, I'm not sure about Fire Emblem, if they're technically developed by Nintendo, but I know they were on Nintendo consoles. But they bring things to the forefront. Mm-hmm. Like a Tails character, I keep saying. Or, whoever. If they want to make a new Banjo game, contact, like, Microsoft. If you want to if you can get Solid Snake, you can get anyone.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Get Ty, get Crash, get Spyro.
Crash and Spyro, those are the ones I was grasping for, and I couldn't get on. And I listed a bunch of dumb ones that would have been, like, assist trophies or something. Final Fantasy probably wouldn't come through.
Get Gex.
Gex would fit.
Gex would be amazing.
Gex would fit.
Could you imagine a small little, like, gecko, like, running around?
Just a tiny little, like, realistic-sized gecko?
Yeah.
I can imagine it wouldn't really work, though.
I think it would.
There's just so many characters out there that aren't platform-specific. Or that aren't, like, on Sony's leash or Microsoft's leash.
Yeah, that's the thing. What leash are they on then? Because, like, it's like you have a certain amount of characters that are just floaters that could, migrate to either systems.
Well, the term for that's just third party. They're their own company, and whoever offers them the most or the best deal, they develop for their console.
Who owns them?
Who owns who?
Like, those characters.
Which characters?
Well, that's the thing. If they're a third party, who owns them?
That company.
Whatever. Which company? Who owns Crash?
Who owns Crash? Probably Naughty Dog.
Okay. So, Sony sold... I thought Sony created...
Naughty
Dog created Crash, I guess, yeah.
I think Sony funded it.
Okay.
In exchange for having, like, a solid launch game.
And then, after a while, Naughty Dog, I guess, Nintendo went to them and was like, hey, can we use your character as well?
What, are there Crash games on Nintendo consoles?
Yeah.
Then, yeah, I guess they're third party. Naughty Dog can go wherever they want.
Okay.
And which is why it's confusing why Crash wouldn't be there unless there's something we don't know about.
Yeah,
someone
Crash
bought the rights to
Spyro's also on Nintendo stuff.
Like recently.
Gex hasn't been. No, Gex was.
For example, like Shin Megami Tensei, like Persona. The greater series is called SMT, and Persona is like a branch of it. But SMT as a whole started on, I believe, NES, and then Super Nintendo, then was on PlayStation, and now releases its main games on like PlayStation, but it has games on 3DS and DS, and they're all over the place too. And Persona right now has the most hype of any game series in Japan. Ooh. Why are they not getting a Persona character?
Yeah, that's
like
stuff.
They could get like Yu Narukami from P4. They're still doing sequels to P4 like 8 years later. Like it's so big. that there's no Persona character. They kind of don't fit, but Solid Snake didn't.
No, I was shocked that he was in it.
Yeah, so I don't... If you can get an agent guy who kills people, you can get Persona characters, you can get Tails characters, you can get...
Who's the guy from Half-Life?
Half-Life guy? I don't know his name. I know a lot of people...
Gordon
Freeman?
Yeah, Gordon Freeman, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman.
Gordon Freeman.
Gordon Freeman.
They could get... I was about to say Sonic, but Sonic's fucking in it. They could get Knights.
Mm-hmm.
Why not Knights?
Oh my gosh, Knights would be sweet.
Knights would fit. We could put it right over Mewtwo. Basically the same character right there, but just better. Awakened Knights.
You don't really grind my gears. No.
Awakened Knights. Did you even...
Awakened Knights? What the hell?
Knights Y and Knights X.
Yeah, get rid of that crap series we call Pokemon.
Yeah. Wait, what else does Sega have that we're like... I'm getting... Right now, I'm pulling for it, but I'm getting Sonic is like their big thing. Mm-hmm. But then there was Knights and like... Do they have another representative like... They have Phantasy Star, but you don't really know anything about that.
No.
Or they had... I think they had Star Ocean. They had...
What about TriStar?
What's TriStar?
You never heard of TriStar?
What's TriStar?
It's a star. It's a character. It's like Spot. Cool Spot, you know what I mean? But it's a star. What about Vector Man?
I've heard of Vector Man.
When we're done, look up TriStar. I think it's TriStar or TriStar. I think it's TriStar. Because that was on the Sonic Gems collection.
Okay.
As like one of those little mini things you got.
Long story short, there's characters out there they could be grabbing, and hell, maybe they are, and no one wants to play nice with Nintendo and like let Nintendo use it for what ultimately will be gearing up hype for Nintendo, rather than themselves. But third-party developers don't have a system; they don't care which system does well. If Nintendo does well, awesome, release for their system.
Right.
So I like.
Yeah, I don't want to like ask like.
Who have you tried to get?
Yeah, it's like I wish we knew someone in their family or something.
Yeah.
Like, yo, uncle, why can't you do this?
Like, I know the guys at Bandai Namco were talking to, I don't know exactly who. I want to say Miyamoto, but probably not. Maybe Sakurai. About getting Tails characters in, and they're just like,
I don't know.
They said, we're ready to license them out if you want to put them in. But I don't know.
You mean to put one of your characters in one of our, best-selling games on a system that isn't doing so well? I don't know. I don't think we could justify that.
Right. They can't justify it.
No.
But you know what can be justified is your most recent purchase.
Take it back.
Of a really good game you got.
Take it back.
A little game about like a little lizard dinosaur. It shits out some eggs.
Yeah.
I'll give you 2 minutes to tell me how you really feel about that. I'll just shut up.
2 minutes? 2 minutes? No. I'll say one word. Shit.
Yoshi's New Island equals shit.
Yeah. Try again, Nintendo. Actually, it wasn't even Nintendo's doing.
Go over it again, what's wrong with it, and then we'll go over why that thing I've kind of found out.
Yeah, alright. So I'm all for the Yoshi franchise, Yoshi's Island franchise.
You're big on Yoshi.
I am, ever since Yoshi's Island. I hope a lot of people can agree. Yoshi's Island for the Super Nintendo was just a really good game. Soundtrack, oh my gosh.
Soundtrack was
so
excellent.
memorable. The playthrough, the story, it was unique, at the time. Then, you went to Yoshi's Story. Okay, a little different, a little more kiddish. Wasn't my favorite, but it was a classic.
It was passable, definitely.
Yeah, it was passable.
Very passable.
Then you went to the
most passable game I think I've ever talked about today. All right, keep on.
Then you went to, and I only played the game once because I wasn't that for it, but the story was still kind of unique. It was
on what?
It was for the DS. It was the next Yoshi's Island. That game was okay. I can't really remember that much about it. That shows you how much I played it.
Arguably the most passable.
Yeah. When I first heard about Yoshi's New Island, I was like freaking, flipping out. I was like, this is gonna be great.
On a 3DS could be really cool.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is so amazing. I don't know how the story's gonna be because what can they do? So I got the game.
Where does it take place on the timeline, by the way?
It takes place right after the first game, the first Yoshi's Island.
I feel that's important to say because that cleared a lot up for me.
But if for those who know this, when you beat the first game, spoiler alert, the stork drops the babies off at the house, but then leaves. They show him flying away. However, they kind of rewrote it in this game, which threw me off because this is false then. This is kind of like lying and just making up a story. The stork stays at the house. So then when the parents lift up the babies, they're like, these aren't our kids.
Yeah,
so then the stork like flips out and like grabs the babies. And then it's exactly like the beginning of Yoshi's Island. He's flying, the stork's flying through, and Kemet comes out of nowhere with his buddies, Shy Guys or whatever, and they, run right into him, and they snatch who? Baby Luigi. So Mario falls again. It's just like the first game. And then when Mario falls, he goes onto the Yoshi's new island, which is basically a vacation resort for them. Wow, that's original. And they don't even recognize Baby Mario.
Vacation resort?
Yeah.
Mario Sunshine!
Right? So, the baby falls again, and I assume... See, what I thought was, okay, it's a new world. It's a new island. It's whatever. So, and I guess it's just inhabited by more Yoshis. But no, they specifically said this is where the Yoshis go. I assume they were talking about Yoshis from the last game. Because, same color and everything.
Yeah.
They don't even recognize Baby Mario. And what really irks me it still irks me is the Baby Bowser. They call him Baby Bowser, okay, that's great. But when you look at him, he's clearly Bowser Jr. from Mario Sunshine.
Right.
Which makes me so mad because that is not him. There are two completely different characters. Baby Bowser, Baby Bowser. Bowser Jr., you little toddler Bowser from Yoshi's Super Mario Sunshine. Completely different characters. So It makes you so upset that they would use him and call him by Baby Bowser when it's not him.
They're using the image of Bowser Jr.
Yes.
And just calling him Baby Bowser because Baby Bowser fits in the Yoshi's Island story, but the character that they're looking at as they're calling him Baby Bowser is not that character.
Yes.
So they have the wrong, improperly labeled character
that they made.
The story is rewritten. It doesn't follow it since it's a sequel to the original game. The start of this game does not coincide with the ending of the previous game.
Yes.
And the thing I found most interesting, because I've never been big into the Yoshi's Island whole story, Baby Bowser, Bowser Jr., I'd probably make that mistake, but something that anyone with ears anyone listening to this podcast can get into is the issue with the soundtrack. I wanted to hear more about that.
Yeah, no, I was getting into it. That was just the minor.
I just want to say something so people don't forget about me.
So, okay, yeah, well, that was a good summary. So we have that. Then we get into, okay, they play the levels, fine, whatever. It's okay, but the soundtrack, the songs, oh my gosh!
Because the first game was almost known for its godlike soundtrack.
It was so amazing,
so good.
And then to play this, and you're listening to these, and I'm like, okay, first stage, whatever. It's a nice little kiddie song, whatever. Then the next one's so, I don't know. They just seem to be so. There was no effort put into them.
They're so bland.
So plain, so bland, and it's like, where's the oomph? Where's the nice, hard rocking soundtrack from the first game, where you hear the bass, you hear the drums. This is all. It's Yoshi's Story, but worse. Like Yoshi's Story was fine, but I really wish I wanted to hear the soundtrack.
This is a bad version of Yoshi's Story soundtrack.
Yes. And
it sounds like you're listening to it like from one room over. Like it's just muted and bland and really dull.
Because I even had to turn up my 3DS because I'm like, is this really that low? And then I'm like playing the game and I'm like, this soundtrack sucks. And then I played, and then the only time that it kind of stuck out at me was an extra level when you get everything 100% in one world, you unlock an extra stage, and that one had an alright soundtrack. So I then you know what? After I beat the game, I kind of rushed through it because I was like, you know what? I'm just going to play through the levels, see if I like any of the levels, which I really didn't. They were kind of easy, but if you wanted to get 100%, it could cause some trouble. So I beat the game in like probably an hour and a half, a little less, because I took about 40 minutes just to beat the first world, just to get everything.
Yeah.
But, so I beat it. Now, the last boss is... I don't... It's exactly like Yoshi's Island, where it's you walk into the stage before you fight Baby Bowser is it's like the slow moving shot, and you're trying to follow the screen, and you have Kamek throwing his little magic wand around.
It's a horizontal
exactly
scroll.
like that. It's exactly like that. And then even the storyline, when you go in and you wake up Bowser Jr. and he gets all cranky and he stomps him 3 times, that's exactly the same. Even what he says, too, the dialogue, it's kind of the same. So, and then you start battling him. It's a little different, I give him that. And then you fight him, so after you defeat him 3 times, Kamek makes him huge. And then, following just like the original game, he grows big. Still not as big as he was in Yoshi's Island. Still not as big. I don't know why they can't make him that big, but whatever. So then you battle him 3 more times, 3 more hits, he's done. Now, you then go to the store, blah blah blah, stuff happens, but then all of a sudden it turns into like a picture. And then you see 2 hands come out from the side and tears it apart. And then what do you see? Wow! Humongous Bowser. It's Bowser, and basically what Nintendo was saying, or whoever wrote this was saying, yo, here comes Bowser suddenly through time.
A time warp.
Yeah, a time warp. And it's like, okay, so now he just randomly goes through time now.
That not having played through the game, and I'm very glad now that I didn't, that just is like, especially to the fans, I can put myself in their shoes as a gamer and just see how big of a slap in the face that is to have you play through the game, 100% or not, complete it, and then some dumb thing that was not explained in the story that had no precedence to happen, just boom, another villain comes through a time warp in the last 3 seconds of the credits or whatever.
Yep.
And just like, hey, yeah, just yucking it up. Hey, I can time warp. You didn't really beat me, because I can just fucking warp around time. So, wait, what's the point of fighting you if you can just time warp out of the fight?
Right?
Why would I ever try to fight you? How can I fight you if you can just time warp?
What I think...
Why is Bowser time warping?
Yeah, it's not in his nature, and what is coming back to me is, I could be completely wrong, that's why I don't feel confident mentioning it, but I will, I wonder if the one for the DS, if he time warped too. I don't know, because you do get to fight Big Bowser.
Maybe he did.
Which is, this just makes this game even more unoriginal, because why are you having him time warp yet again?
Yeah. So if he has time warp before, now that's just ripping off another game.
Yeah.
And if he hasn't time warp before, that's almost worse than just ripping off a game, because suddenly things are happening that had no precedence to happen at all.
So that means that they do another Yoshi's Island, what's going to happen is they're going to time warp yet again.
Like, literally, I would be just as surprised when that happened as if you get to the end, you just fight Skull Kid for no reason.
Yeah.
You get to the end, you just...
Why not? Yeah, after you defeat this Bowser, right? Oh, out of nowhere, Skull Kid comes around.
Skull Kid just comes in and you fucking drop your ocarina.
Yeah. Oh.
And he's like, yeah, Yoshi's been using an ocarina to fly. He just blows in it super hard. We didn't tell you.
Oh.
Yeah, like, I don't know. It's just, they could make up anything now, and I'm afraid for future games, if that's a passable story element, that in every one of my Nintendo games, unless this becomes commonplace, and it's a Nintendo thing that at the end of the credits someone time warps in from here on out, I don't, that's gonna, I can't deal with that in my, if that happens to Zelda or something, I just quit.
Yeah.
If Ganondorf just comes in with this big shit-eating grin on his face, and just, hey, you didn't really beat me, I can time warp. Good thing Link can time warp.
Yeah.
That's the only person that can actually deal with that problem. But like Cranky Kong just should lean in at the end of Ocarina of Time. It's just, hey, hi, you didn't beat me, and then leave, because he's not even the bad guy of the game. They could literally throw in anyone they want. So I guess that's enough hate. It needs some more hate, but you guys can just rewind and hear it again.
I just want to say, if you guys, for people, I don't know if they want to 100% this game, but after I found that out, I was disappointed, so I decided, you know what, I'm going to use my power saves and just unlock everything.
It is compatible with power saves.
Yes.
So that's a good thing to mention.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say, if people want to do that, they could do that, and it's not worth it to do 100% because I played the extra stages and, well, at least to listen to the soundtrack, and they're all the exact same song.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's original.
Every bonus stage has the same song.
Yeah, the same freaking song. So I'm like, and I like the song. It's okay. That's the one song that I actually like, and then you have to earn it to get it to it unless you cheat. But yet, they couldn't even switch it up for the 6 worlds that there are. Make 6 different songs.
6 different, yeah. I mean, come on. Come on.
Yeah, there was... and then even the boss battles. Sorry, I forgot to mention this. Boss battles, the songs suck.
They did.
Like, they're so cute. I'm like...
You played some of them for me.
I felt like putting another song, just listening to another song and turning my 3DS down.
You would be... Ooh, Chemical
I would play
Zone.
this song
nice.
over the...
Yeah, I'd just rather have like my iPod on and listen to my own soundtrack for the game.
Because you're not missing anything.
Okay.
So, enough bashing, I guess, on that.
Yeah. Now, another thing that I've just threw in here, it just popped into my head out of nowhere. I don't know why, but I just feel like talking about fighting games. Like one-on-one Mortal Kombat kind of stuff.
Okay.
I can't really say last one I bought was BlazBlue for the PS3. I'm not big into fighting games. I suck at them. But I was wondering, have you been playing any recently, or... And if not, what's your favorite? I'm talking one-on-one fighting where there's a guy on the left, guy on the right.
I think the last time I played that was Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
At my house?
Your house, yeah. Well, then I played a little bit at my house. So,
okay.
Yeah,
So, like, what's a favorite of yours? What do you have a particularly good memory of it? It's a topic we don't really touch on, and I feel like we should kind of toss it in there. Mix it up.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention, I'm trying to remember what fighting game I'm actually decent at. I think I'm actually decent at Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and 1. Decent, not saying the best by all means, but I could get by.
With the right team comp.
Yeah. My favorite fighting games... Man, that is a great question, because I'm trying. All that's coming to mind, which is sad, is Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and I know there's
series,
so
I mean
many
a particular game.
What?
Like, didn't you say like Mortal Kombat Trilogy or something was your favorite that time?
Oh, you're talking like just
favorite installment in the series.
Well, I was even picking like series. Like, what would I like better? Because I like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 really, really freaking much, but that's because I like comic book characters. But for the time...
That's right, you didn't know like any of the Capcom characters. And that's all I picked when we were playing together. I only picked Capcom, you were only picking comic book characters.
Yep.
And that's like, this is weird.
Okay, I kind of, for nostalgia effect for me, I kind of liked... when Mortal Kombat 4 first came out for the PlayStation. I know it came out for the N64 as well. And I bought both versions. But I really liked...
You showed me the receipt.
Yeah, I actually found the receipt long ago when I think one of my parents, my dad or my mom, or I don't know who was with me, but they bought me, I think it was with my dad, they bought me both games at one time, which wasn't cheap.
No, I saw
it. So, yeah, I was like, I did not know that was that much. And I can't believe I got both.
So, Mortal Kombat 4 on the PlayStation is... You have a good memory, or
I have a good memory of that. My favorite is Trilogy on the PlayStation, because you could play Mortal Kombat Trilogy, because you could play all 4 bosses. I think there are 4. All 4 of the bosses, and in the N64 version you couldn't. And that's what always turned me off of the N64 version. Yeah, it has to load on the PlayStation, but I loved it. And I did play it, even though it sucked.
Yeah, well, being good doesn't always
as long as you have fun.
Doesn't always equal fun, is what I was trying to say. Good does not equal fun, although a lot of times it is fun to be the best of whoever's playing. My dad can just shred me at any Mortal Kombat.
See, that's why I always played alone, because I'm like, you know what, at least I could suck on no one's going to see me suck, and I could try to beat the
the
game, yeah.
Yeah. And then as for me, I guess the better way to phrase that would have been if you could have one fighting game, like I'd take every one you have but one. Which one would you still want? And that would be Mortal Kombat.
For nostalgia effect, yeah.
Yeah. For me, the one that I really grew up with, my first day owning a video game, one of the games I got was Mortal Kombat 1 for the Genesis.
Nice.
So that one definitely had the most memories, being 4 or 5 years old. Playing with my dad. Sub-Zero versus Sub-Zero was always the most fun, because then he could kind of attack me without hurting me, so I could win. But when I got older and we started fighting like legitimately, my dad
with
can
boxing gloves and
destroy me. He just destroy me in Mortal Kombat. He still can, and I don't know how he's so good.
Yeah, when he doesn't practice.
Yeah, he doesn't play.
It's like riding a bike with him, I guess.
I'll go play with my friends, and then after I'm like, Dad, you want to play? And then he'll win after I played like for an hour. And I'm like, how are you doing that? My friends have challenged him and stuff too, and he's won. I don't know, maybe he's secretly practicing.
Maybe.
Yeah. But Mortal Kombat 1 probably has the most feelings for me. The one I have the most fun with anymore is Persona 4 Arena for the PS3, because I'm really big into Persona these days, and getting to fight all those characters together, like versus each other, which they wouldn't be doing normally in the story, is really fun. And the fact that it is a sequel, so it's literally does carry on the story.
That's cool.
So yeah, it's like actual story elements that they are fighting each other now.
Well, that's kind of how Mortal Kombat is, so...
Yeah.
They follow a storyline.
Yeah, but I mean, it's following a storyline from a non-fighting game.
Oh.
Persona 4 is like an RPG. And then at the end of it, this comes right after, and has a story reason, for no spoilers, for anyone who cares, that they have to fight each other, which I really enjoyed. And, so I guess my favorite would have to be Mortal Kombat 1. So we're both going back to Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Did you ever play Mortal Kombat? Did you ever play,
I played 1, 2, 3, 4, and, the one on GameCube. I think Armageddon.
Deadly Alliance?
Deadly Alliance, yeah, Deadly Alliance.
It went to...
It's the one with, like, that arrowhead sort of spear, like, bloody thing on the cover. Remember what I'm talking about?
I have the game, but I can't get to it right now.
It looks like a spearhead or like an arrowhead, where it says Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance.
It might... If it's like a...
It's the game where Sub-Zero can make that sword and just stick it in you. And, like, leave it there.
It was the first, Did you ever play Sub-Zero Mythologies?
Yes!
That was such a
I have it on N64, actually.
I do too.
It's so bad.
I don't have it on PlayStation because it was so bad on the N64, so I'm like, why did I buy it?
It came with my second N64 that I got off of eBay. It came with WWE, like, No Mercy or something, and Sub-Zero Mythologies, and I was like, this is bullshit.
I remember the first time I played it, I was like, what the heck am I doing? And then, all of a sudden I ran, boom.
It's sort of like a platform RPG fighting game.
Which is like the first for Mortal Kombat at the time.
It was horrible.
I was like, this is terrible. I hope they never make a game like that again.
And then they kept making things kind of like that, because they had Mortal Kombat Shaolin monks, and like...
Yeah, which I kind of want to buy, even though I heard it sucks.
It's horrible. Mortal Kombat doing anything but straight up one-on-one fighting.
Which is a shame, because I think they have potential if they actually do it right. Like,
they have a good cast.
They have so many. I heard that they want to reboot it.
I thought they are.
Because they had... Oh, well, that's... Not just the movie?
No.
I really want a movie. Nowadays, they should be able to do a Mortal Kombat movie.
They did do the movies.
They did 1 and 2, which 2 sucked, but they had... I liked 2 only because of the characters that they had.
They had the cool intro theme.
Yeah.
Like, the song was the best part of the whole movie.
But I loved, after the end of Mortal Kombat, you have set characters, and then when Mortal Kombat 2, the movie, like, when you watch it, it takes place immediately right after the first one, but with, like, 2 of the actors didn't reprise their roles, so they looked different. Yeah. I was like... Well, I didn't know that, because I was young, so I was just like, why are they different? And I couldn't understand. I was like, are you serious? So I'm like, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But it had one of the best scripts ever.
I'm sure it did.
Oh, people are going to hate me for that. I'm kidding. That movie sucked.
Yeah, well, I guess we've answered the question, so we can keep rolling.
Yeah.
Next one here was that news that you had already been familiarized with, that Wii and DS, original Wii, original DS, internet services are going down. Besides for, like, I believe the store and downloads and things are still available. Things where you can give them more money, but the playing part is going down. Like, say, Mario Kart Online or...
Brawl.
Brawl Online should be going down relatively soon. I believe it's in May. I believe maybe April, maybe June, but in that 3 months there. I hope it's not March, but I don't play either of those online anyway, so whatever. And I can kind of see why, but what are your feelings on that?
I kind of feel as if this system, if you have a system that's doing better than the system that you have now, actually two systems that are better than the one system that you have now, why not keep it going? I know it's old.
The user base must be almost nothing.
Okay. But it sucks for people who still use it.
Yeah, I can see how...
And who don't have a Wii U.
I can see definitely how, as a business, that makes total sense. If it's down at like 3% of what it used to be, and if just maybe 1,000 or 2,000 people play it every day or every week, I can see why you would want to shut it down, because you could save so much not paying for those servers. But at the same time, if you sell someone something and it says it goes online on the box, you're taking away a sizable portion of the game. And there's a lot of games that are almost online only, although that's more of like a Microsoft or Call of Duty thing. Mm-hmm. Like, imagine taking down the service for Call of Duty. Like, that's all it has.
Yeah.
It has a campaign, but it's negligible.
I mean, I was disappointed when, I can't go online with my Dreamcast, Like, what the heck?
You still kind of can. I've been looking into that, and I've been working on getting mine set up. The one guy that I was trying to buy all these things for, and he was charging the ridiculous prices or wouldn't sell things, he had the web browser disc.
It would figure that he would be the person that would have everything that you would want. Because he's a dick.
Yeah,
so
he's just a dick.
Of course he would have
He's a huge asshole.
It wouldn't be, the people that are actually nice.
Like, there was that figure that I was very familiar with the price of. He tries telling me it's $80. Like, no, I'm pretty sure it's not, guy. But somehow he makes a living doing that, so...
Which, I don't know. He even seemed rude when he was talking to you, so I was just like,
always
has
been.
I mean, as much as I would want something, I don't know. I'd tell him to shove it and leave.
Yeah, maybe not buy from him.
No.
But yeah, so you feel that...
I see where you're coming from, too.
It's iffy.
It is. I mean...
No, I'm not saying they should do it. I'm saying it makes sense as a business, and I can't hold it against them, really.
Yeah.
But it feels gross, but I can't say they shouldn't.
Yeah.
But it still feels gross. Definitely.
I mean, because you never really hear Nintendo doing stuff like this, and it's just shocking
now
that
they
it's
have
like
been
this year and
a
last
lot.
year between... Yeah, it's just like, why?
As soon as they need fan support,
go talk.
As soon as they... you want the...
Yeah.
As soon as they need fan support, they start pulling all kinds of nonsense.
Yeah.
Now's the worst time to start taking things away from people, to start telling, like, Action Replay, you can't do that, and telling...
Which we will be getting into, but yes.
Tell Action Replay you can and can't do this, and taking down online services. Now you got to be supporting the fans, not corralling us and
making
hurting
them
us.
Angrier. Yeah,
making us angrier, because there's so many people right on the fence about to leave. Like, even me, I'm not sure they've lost so much trust. Like,
yeah.
That, especially if they kill off Wii U.
Oh yeah. If they do that,
if they kill off Wii U like way too soon,
I will wait.
Why would I buy their next console?
Yeah, their next console, I'll wait until it drops, because I bet you from their past mistakes, it will probably drop another $100. Wait another 3 months after its release, unless it's something great. But I can't see what could be great now. I mean,
unless they really blow us away, what they could do is establish a bunch of partnerships with Super Smash third-party developers. Get them all on board to have a game ready for the launch of the next console.
Yeah.
Have a bunch of solid games ready to launch.
You know what wouldn't shock me? If they re-release that game for the next system.
The Super Smash re-release it? That could be
for
good.
For their next new system as a launch title. They're not going to do anything with it, I guarantee you, unless the graphics are better, but that's the only thing I can think of. I bet you they won't. Or if they want more money, they would be smart and add another character.
Add one character.
Yeah, one character. They could do that, and people would buy it. But I'm not necessarily thinking I would, because I just spent $350 plus a game and a strategy guide at the same time when I bought the system when it first came out.
Yeah.
Well, 2 weeks later, but...
they don't... I guess they're losing the sense that it's a give and take relationship.
Mm.
They don't exist without our money.
Yeah.
But they're acting like nothing happens unless they make things, though. You know, we don't get all the junk we're looking for if they don't make it, and they can't make it unless we support them.
Yeah.
But they're acting like they have 100% of the power, not 50%. I'll give them 50%. I'll say it's, you know, they got some pull. They can make their own decisions, but they got to stop being dicks.
Why did they make the decision to pass off and not make Yoshi's New Island? That's a big mistake.
That's right. We didn't really touch on that. We moved on from Yoshi's New Island before mentioning that it's not even made by their first-party development team. They passed it off to the guys that do the Mii games.
Yeah, and
not even Wii Sports. I don't believe they do Is it Wii Play, or one of those sort of knockoff-ish ones?
Oh, I don't know.
It's the guys that do the Find Me and that stuff too. The Mii Plaza.
Oh.
They do the Mii Plaza games.
That explains why the soundtrack sucks.
Kind of, because they're used to making mini-game soundtracks.
Yeah. So...
Because it's not the guy that even composed the original one.
So does it mean that their mindset was like, okay, we really need to get someone's attention with this. We have some time to do this, but we don't need that on our plate right now. You guys make this game, and we'll just, I don't even think they looked it over.
Do you think that their main team is focusing on Yarn Yoshi? Maybe that's what they're doing.
What? I could think that. I could picture that.
Maybe that's that slot of people that work on the Yoshi games.
Because when is that even coming out? I haven't heard any.
I haven't either, and a lot of people are saying it's calmly just being put down.
Oh my gosh, I think that was a pretty good idea. I was going to get it.
You were going to get it, but you weren't really hype on it, because we've talked about it before, and I've even, editing the thing I heard, I was like, ooh, it doesn't sound like he loves it.
I mean, I wasn't for him being yarnish, but if it's any improvement from the Yoshi's New Island, yeah. Which, when you brought it up... Anything will be
an improvement.
Yeah, you brought up a good point. What if they are working on that
That's what the Yoshi team is busy with, yeah.
So that's why now I'm kind of well, maybe I could have some hope.
But when they pick someone to pass it off to, why pass it off to the people that do, your Street Pass mini games?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
You couldn't have given it to the guys that... I can't think of who else right now off the top of my head. I don't know who's free. I'm assuming no one's free right now, but...
You know what? Why don't you just give Yoshi to Microsoft?
Might as well. Just sell them off.
Yeah.
Sell Mario, too.
Yeah,
just
keep Luigi. And Daisy.
And Egad.
Keep Luigi, Daisy, Egad, Bowser, and the Koopalings. Get rid of Bowser Jr.
Yep. And Baby Bowser.
So no one could confuse him by Baby Bowser.
Just get rid of both of them. Don't need either. Hopefully they'll be in the next Halo. That would be pretty funny, though. I'd almost buy it just to see Bowser Jr. in Halo.
It would be so bloody. Oh, I love it.
Yep. So we've touched on them taking down the internet now, taking down the whole internet, the Wii DS internet. So yeah, what's some Pokemon news? What's going on with Pokemon? What's going on with power saves?
Oh, I love it because when I got my power saves about a week ago, I was so hyped to, use my codes to get that new Pokemon, the Pokemans, and get the 2 new Mega Stones that were for Latios and Latias. And what happens? They took those codes right off the site, right off the software that
the device. Yep.
And my question was, are you kidding? Why? So I did some research and what people are saying, and I know this is a rumor, but this is the only logical explanation, is Nintendo got a hold of them, and they said, yo, take them off.
Nintendo or Game Freak?
Or Game Freak said, take them off. So, I of course, it would wait until I get that power saves. I spent $30, mainly for those things. I mean, yeah, it's great to use it on my other games that I beat and stuff, but I wanted it mainly for Pokemon X and Y, and they just take it off. And of course, you can't trade them. You can't trade any of those.
So you can't get them from someone that did get them.
Exactly.
Because it was available for a time. And
a lot of people got them. A lot of people, and they're having fun too. They have shinies of them too. Whatever. Nope.
But you can't trade them, so you can't get them.
Yep.
That being said, these were cheating to get early release of these that will be released at some point.
No one's to say that they won't be, but no one's to say that they will be. I mean, there was, I think, 2 Pokemon that were never released here at the time that they were supposed to come out.
In North America?
Yes. Japan, oh man, they're already... Are you kidding? Japan, like, it's everything. I envy them in some way.
That makes sense, though, that they would get...
Yeah, but why shaft us? Like, I believe Arceus, you needed the flute in Diamond and Pearl.
Well, I mean, not everything comes out in Japan either, so...
Yeah, well, Pokemon does.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
In Pokemon, they're getting...
if you're doing worldwide releases of your game, you need to start doing worldwide releases of the add-ons and whatnot.
See, in Japan, the anime's doing great. The movies have always been released in theaters.
Yeah, it's a theatrical release, and they actually do pretty well.
And their releases on DVDs, and I think even now Blu-ray, they even have box sets of, like, all the movies on Blu-ray. And I'm like, it looks so amazing. I'm like, why can't we get that here? I guess because people won't buy it, but I don't know. Viz should at least... I'm getting off track, but Viz should at least, like, a company with some people that appreciate the series and only gear towards the fans. Sort of like how Bandai of America is getting to, like, they know what fans want, and they're targeting us, like the grown-ups who could buy this expensive stuff, but it's good material, it's good stuff that they're selling. And it's like, why can't Viz get some people together and be like, hey, we know there are some hardcore Pokemon fans out there that have been along with the series for a very long time. Why shouldn't we release this on Blu-ray for limited release? I'm pretty sure a lot of people would buy it. Especially if you say limited, smack that on there.
Yeah, Bandai's good with that recently. I mean, Bandai Namco, as the name I was tossing around earlier, is the guys that are doing they do Tales, and they did the Tales Chronicles box set. And since the last game, Tales of Xillia, they started doing standard, limited, and collector's releases each time a new Tales game comes out. Those guys at Bandai are like, yeah, well, we do a limited release, and people that order them, we make that many, or a few extra. They have a good guesstimate, based on sales, and how many of this tier buyer and that tier buyer there are. And yeah, they're doing an awesome job with that stuff. Some people from that really need to get on board. I think they can make some good money with Pokemon. There are definitely collectors out there, and people just willing to spend more than there is available right now.
Yeah.
Myself included, some good Pokemon crap would be sweet. I'd get some collector Pokemon things. Probably not. It wouldn't make sense to start collecting box sets now of the show, but items or a cool collector's edition of the game, maybe.
Could you imagine if they actually released re-release, I guess now, let's say the original Pokédex to actually have a fully realistic, metalled.
That'd be cool.
Pokédex geared towards the older generation of
sell
fans.
Out.
Yeah.
Wait, why release that with the next Pokemon gen?
Yeah. Heck, even have, I don't know since it's the original Pokédex, but I would like to have the original Pokédex with, all the Pokemon that you could catch. So they're all in there.
Yeah, updated, too.
Yeah. So, and that'd be cool, and in color. And have the original guy do it.
They could totally do that. They could totally do that if it was a collector's box set for, 100.
Or have that in with, instead of a game, or they could do that too, but have it also maybe for the next movie or something, that'd be cool. Or a box set for a season.
How about 150, and you get both games next time they come out? You get, say, if it's Pokemon Plus and Minus like they're saying, you get Plus, Minus, and this Pokédex. In, a cool box, maybe with some concept art of the Pokemon.
I would love it the way your Tales of
Symphonia?
Yeah, I would love it the way that would come. If it would be just a little bit bigger and have all that stuff in it. Like the Pokédex.
Probably be smaller since it's Game Boy games, but...
Yeah, I was thinking they could throw some other stuff in there. But,
hopefully. Or, some figures of the starters.
Oh.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
It's just a no-brainer.
It is.
Why are there no collector editions of... And still have the standard for, 10-year-olds that need to convince their mom and dad to buy it.
Yeah.
But have something for those of us that are just, totally retarded about it. I'd go buy that.
Yeah, no, I just don't understand why they can't... I'm just going to bring it up one more time only because, and I'm sure there will be fans, hopefully fans listening who are fans of Power Rangers. Like, Bandai of America, I think you guys can agree with me, are great with this legacy line of figurines that started last year. Like re-releasing the Megazord, listening to the fans, doing a die-cast metal, and re-releasing... They're now doing Dragon Zord, and the Dragon Dagger is beautiful, 24 karat gold. The Morphers, just so many things that they're re-releasing. And
Bandai's doing this?
Bandai, because they know they've listened to the fans.
They're very good at that these days.
These days, and because before they didn't, and the toys that they were released weren't that good, you know.
Well, we do have this as a topic, like, this is the next
topic.
topic.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, this is the next topic.
Okay.
So we don't need to roll into that yet.
Yeah.
You were just
but
mentioning...
basically, why can't Viz get some of that and realize we should treat our fans like that for the older community? Because they could afford to pay for them. I'm not saying that I can, but I make dues. You know, I would hate to do that, but if I know something's limited... You
would do it.
Yeah, and especially if I'm a fan of it.
You make it happen.
Yes, I would find a way. I don't care if I'll ask multiple people, hey, combine your money for my birthday to grab this for me. But...
Yes, but is there any good news or any news, like news
Pokemon.
About Pokemon?
I don't. All that's new is like Trozy, and I don't really. I don't follow those. There was been one that released on the DS, and then now this one, and I don't like it. I mean, I can't say I don't like it. It doesn't appeal to me, so I can't.
You haven't tried it. So.
Yeah, that's why I say it just doesn't appeal to me, so I'm not going to play it.
It's a little knockoff game, but the fact that it even took really a spot, like in the Nintendo Direct, for a few minutes is like that. It had almost as much time as say X or something. Is like kind of ridiculous to me to push a puzzle game that hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just a little puzzle mini. Like it could be on mobile phones, like 2003, like flip phones.
Yeah.
The way I see it, like I don't know. It doesn't seem worthy of the Pokemon brand, but it's slapping little Pikachu faces on these bubbles. Like, come on.
Yeah. No. Wait. Did you come with? Was it you and the woman, or was it my other friend? I don't know. Did you come see the Pokemon movie?
No, I almost did.
Okay. So it was my roommate. Okay. Yeah, because I was like, how they did it sucked, but. I loved the fact that it was in movie theaters for one freaking day. It was on a Sunday at one time.
Start talking about Power Rangers.
Okay, I was just going to say that because okay.
What? Yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off here, but you do have a lot of Power Rangers stuff to talk about. I will be right back.
Yeah.
You can start listing off. I don't know about what you bought the other day too. Let's start on that.
Alright, so let's see what happened here. Gonna wait until he shuts the door. Try to pull it. Okay, I think you got it. So basically, we went to, when we bought our games before, let's see, I was like, oh, well, you know, I do like collecting things and whatever, and I was like, why don't we look at the figurines? You know, I'm sure they have some cheap figurines where we are. So we walked around, found this place. They had any figurines. They were $3 for $1. So I went ballistic. I mean, yeah, some were beat up, broken, but some were in decent condition and just had some marks that all you have to do is touch up, you know. That's all you have to do. So I was going crazy. Like, Rob isn't that big of, you know, a figurine collector as I am. And I've been starting since I was, you know, a little kid. And some of the stuff I had to give up as I got older and stuff like that. At least I was kind of forced to do it, which it kind of stunk, but I kind of saw why I had to do it. But whatever. So when I was looking through these bins of figurines, I was like, wow, I remember this guy, and I used to have this guy. A majority of the stuff that I ended up buying in the figures, they were just toys that I used to have. So that brought a whole nostalgia feeling back to me that I was like, oh wow, it kind of makes you feel like a kid again. You know, I could actually have these just like I used to have them. So it made me feel good that I got them. Then I found some that I didn't even have before, and I was like, oh great, like that's perfect. I think I ended up spending only $8. So, and I even got 2 for free because I couldn't meet I guess I didn't count right, and I didn't have another one for. I had 2 out of the 3 for $1, so there's just like, you know what, I'll just give it to you anyway. So I spent $8, and it was a great deal. And I was so happy. And then we went to another place right down, walked a little bit further, and I found 3 more figurines. Yeah, they weren't $3 for $1, but I ended up paying 3 for $5. So that to me was great too.
I'm back.
Hey.
Yeah, sorry for wrecking the momentum, folks, but I finished a root beer and drank 2 Cokes in the last hour of the podcast. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea while I'm supposed to not leave the room, but I was about to explode. So I'm back now. You would think, with how big I am, that I could probably hold 2.5 sodas, but
yeah.
I was, and then I felt something rupture.
Don't want something exploding while we're trying to talk.
Yeah, but that could sound really cool on that microphone. It does pick up a lot of sounds.
I'll just be poking you then, as you're like in pain. So you were to the hospital. No, we're not done yet.
Anyhow, yeah, I'm guessing you were just talking about all those sweet figurine pickups you got for extra cheap.
And I can't wait to go back. Actually, I think I just want to mention this quickly. I don't know why. I'll tell everyone. I'll probably be going back only for Friday. Oh, wait. Actually, something might be canceled Saturday. My dad and I wanted to do something that Saturday. But I'm thinking I could just not stay at your house or anything, but kind of I could meet you there and we could go. But if you could only... I'd rather go at like 1 or 2 and then stay to like 6 or 7.
Okay.
Or I can just get there an hour or 2 before you do, but I'll probably... I don't know, be close to done by the time you come.
Yeah, probably. Why, do you have plans that night?
I don't think so.
Well, we could go over this off the show rather.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, I just wanted to run it by you to see if you're free Friday at all.
I don't have plans yet.
Okay.
And if
that's why I kind of wanted to ask you before.
Yeah, I don't...
Because that would be the time that would probably be best with me and free. Because they're not open Sunday. Only some places are open Sundays. I don't know if they
I think the whole thing.
You think they would be? Because I want to get my first.
I think apparently the whole
choice
place
of all the
the whole place is open like Sundays.
Did they say they'll get Thursday and Friday, or just Friday? They open Friday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
So they probably get it Friday.
Yeah, I guess.
I wish I had their number. I could call them all week. Be like, hey, look for this person. I'll send you a picture. Hold on.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, I just mentioned the figurines. I didn't say which ones or whatever. I just said that. You're not as big as a figurine collector as I am,
Not
but you
even
still
close.
you still like collecting some.
Very, very specific on what series I'm collecting or what it is, especially the price range. I'm not even super huge about in the box or anything. Sometimes I just like, for example, I see a Link or something. I'm like, oh, I really like Link, and that's a good Link, and it's this price. Okay, I'll get it. It's not like I need to get all the Link figures since 1986 or whatever, or a full set. Like, I have the Phantom Hourglass Link, but I don't have the Zelda or the others that came in those little ball things. I just kind of don't do that. When I watched Sword Art, I was really into Sword Art Online, so I bought a Kirito figure. Just like that. I'm not mega huge.
But $4, so 33 cents.
But
you can't beat that.
But ones that are that nice and that, yeah, $3 for $1 to complete collections and whatnot.
Yeah,
that was really sweet, and I was happy for you. And I just bought a few figures just because they were dumb, except for Jessie. And
I'm glad you found her because I mean, I probably would have gotten her even though I already have her. But I figured I wouldn't. What? I did, but now look, it's all Power Rangers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I put her away. I put them all away. I retired them for now.
Okay. There's a James that goes with that, isn't there?
There's Ash, Misty, Jesse, and James. And then in America, they probably released them in Japan, but they had Brock. I got Brock in America.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So, yeah. But, no, I remember I used to go to, like, it was in Maryland at the time. No. I think it was Virginia at the time. I don't remember. I was young.
I feel like we should do these podcasts. Would you like to try something where we're doing just kind of on video?
Yeah, definitely.
It's like... This is maybe a good time to cut into this so we would actually be able to show the stuff.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like
have just a table and have the things we're going to talk about ready to...
Kind of like, it's not a review, but it's kind of like you're showing them, saying, hey, this is what I got.
So we don't go... Yeah, and that was a really bad time to bring it up, but I forget things really...
But that's okay.
I forget things really easily, so I need to do it and say it on recording.
Yeah,
so you're in Maryland,
and then we can bring the games too into it and be like, hey,
and like when I won't just be like Tales of Symphonia Chronicles, it'll be like this thing.
Yeah. So then people can actually look, and then as you're moving it around as you're showing the camera and you're talking about it, so then they have a visual. That's kind of cool too. I like that.
Yeah, I just wanted to get that on recording.
Then heck, I could show them some of that cool, in the box.
This is a good spot to do it. We could even set some stuff up behind us, have a nice little setup.
Yeah, I could use some better lights. I'll bring some better lights in here, and we'll work it out. We could do that.
All right. And so you're in Maryland. What was going on?
Yeah, I think it was in Maryland. It was, I was with my dad. We ended up going to this, I forget what type, I swear it was like an anime place where they had the Pokemon cards and stuff like that. I guess it was a car shop, but they had anime, figurines, and what they had, and I loved it, they had a 4-pack of Misty, Brock, why did I say that? Ash, Misty, Jesse, and James. And it was I was just looking at them, it was from Japan, it was all Japanese and everything. Nice. That's where I got the glow-in-the-dark Mewtwo, I got,
At that place?
Mm-hmm. I bought everything.
Was it in a mall, you said?
Yeah, it was in a mall. And so, I mean, it wasn't that cheap, that thing was probably... Well, at the time, I don't know, it was probably, I think it was $25, $30, which is, I would buy it for that. It was in the box at the time. It was from Japan.
An import?
It was an import, yeah. A lot of the stuff was imported. And they even had, the lineups that you build yourself, the model kits of Pokemon. I have some of them. But they were kind of expensive. They were $15, $20. But anyway, so I was really excited. And I remember that I really wanted it, but I was like, no. So we left. And I was like, you know how kids are, pouty, whatever. And then the next day, out of nowhere, we went to the mall again, and we went to that place, and he got it for me. Wow. It was still there. Luckily, it was still there, because that was But anyway, I think the one that you picked up was the Japanese version, because the American versions are better painted.
Oh.
So.
Great. Well, I didn't notice my painting was bad until now, so now I gotta go look.
Well, they're more vibrant. The Japanese ones are more darker toned. Okay. So yeah, that's the only thing.
I forget. I probably could list off you what I got. I got some biker mouse from Mars. I say biker mouse from Mars because it's just one. It's not biker mice. It's mouse.
And I wish I could remember his name. But yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know the name. Obviously, I got a Jesse.
It's the robotic one that's gray, and he has blue outfit.
I got a RoboCop missing a hand. I got a Gaston figure.
Those two we got together. We got the Gaston, we got the RoboCop.
Oh, you
got I got RoboCop too, and I got the Gaston.
Oh, you got the other ones that I didn't get?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got the same one.
I didn't see that.
I got the two.
I didn't see that you had those.
Yeah, we had the same two figures.
Because you had 30 figures, so I didn't even look at them. Yeah, did you get to kind of say what you wanted to say? Earlier you were mentioning how Bandai was doing such and such releases.
I did not say that yet.
You wanted to say something for Power Rangers fans, so here's your spot.
Oh, okay. I just want to say that for those who are Power Rangers fans, I think the week's already over for the sale. Crap. But last week they had the sale of, you could pick up on ToysRUs.com, you could pick up for $60 the Dragon Dagger, which is a great price because it's normally $80, and also the Dragon Zord. You could pre-order the Dragon Zord for $60. I pre-ordered mine already. Yes, it probably is taken down right now because Toys R Us is doing that. For some reason, they take it down off the site. Your order's still there, but then they bring it back up. I guess they do it for shipment stuff. So that's the first shipment. That's the first wave. Then they're probably going to do another wave. The Dragon Dagger was so hard for me to find. They did 4 times they took it off the website, and I never got any one of those. I actually found it in the store last week, and I was crazy because they had it for $94 at my Toys R Us. I flipped out. I was like, no. I brought it up on my website, on my app on my phone, and I showed them. I was like, well, this is for $60, so you should price match this, and they did. Toys R Us will always price match, especially from their Toys R Us website. So they price matched it, so I got it for $63 with tax. And I was like, sweet. So anyway, you guys, if you're Power Rangers fans, get them. I recommend them. Also, if you're fans of SH Figure Arts, MMPR Black is coming out. Actually, some people on eBay already have them. If you want to pay $43, you can. It's the same price off of Amazon. That's coming out April 15th, I want to say. The Black Ranger, and then the blue and yellow are coming out June and July. So that's pretty much all I want to say for now.
That's some good news. I do have one last topic I wanted to roll off with, so I thought of something else now. Yeah, while we're on the topic of releases, before I move on to our final wrap-up here. On the topic of... I'm not... Okay, today I'm not really that up on the porn releases for this week.
Oh.
So, give me a warning next time, and I'll have that for the next podcast.
Okay.
But for this week, something you've asked me about recently, and I did not have a good answer, or maybe I gave you the wrong answer. I know we talked about this, Sword Art Online. The novel is coming out. That's still in April, like I've always said. It's a novel, and you asked me then, I believe on the podcast, maybe episode 3 or 4, you go, oh, by the way, the Sword Art manga is coming out, and I was like, no, it's a novel, and you go, it's not a manga, and I said, no, it's not. That's true and not true. It is a novel. It's coming out. The main story, the thing that Reki Kawahara has been releasing and writing, is just a novel. There's pictures like every 20 pages. It's like a graphic novel kind of thing, but for the most part, it's just a book with words. I was not aware that the manga was being localized, also in April.
Oh.
So you have your choice. You can follow the story through the manga, which I believe is written by the same guy. They had him do the writing for the manga so it stays true to the story. He doesn't do illustrations. He didn't do the illustrations in the original book, so it's fine. They won't be different, really. He always has someone illustrate his things, but he wrote the story again over for the manga, consolidated it basically. It's 2 volumes for Aincrad, 2 volumes for Alfheim, and they're moving on to... I think they had the first volume out in Japan for Gun Gale, the next one. So you could, if you're not into reading it as a novel, the answer is now yes.
Great. I like that.
When you said, is the manga coming? Yes.
Okay. That's awesome. That's good news. How much do you know?
$12.59.
More than Attack on Titan.
By a few dollars.
Yeah.
By a few. But I get a lot of manga that's like $10.99, so to me that's not a huge deal.
No, I mean, I'll still get it, but I was just shocked that it's
you will be getting it then.
Yeah, I want to continue from where the series left off.
Attack on Titan or...
No, Sword Art.
So you're going to wait for it to get to where it is rather than buy the first one?
Well, I kind of already saw the first one.
Oh.
I'm kind of like how I am with Attack on Titan.
Okay, well, I thought you were going to be like my manga bro and buy them as I get them. Because I'm getting the books and probably the manga too.
Wow.
So much is left out in the anime from the books. Like the sex scene.
I really do want that. I mean,
okay, whatever, creep. That's the only part. I'll rip those pages out and staple.
Yeah, please give me your book. I just want to rip those out.
Let you photocopy those.
No, because that's one thing I don't like. I wish they would have kept that in. Because I would have, because in that certain part I was like, wait, they did it? Are you serious? Cause...
No, well, the thing, Asuna takes her clothes off, and then Kirito's, and then she's like, no, you need to take yourself too, it's awkward. And he's like, what are you talking about? And then she gets upset and throws something at him, I think.
Yeah, that's what...
And then they don't do it.
Then when you told me that they did, I was like, what? That didn't happen.
But then, no, they cut it out of the show so it could maintain a lower rating.
That sucks.
And in the book, he wrote that, technically, it's not technically a real chapter. He says you can choose whether or not for yourself if this happens or not, depending on how you like their relationship. We won't talk about it again. They won't be like
I liked it so
banging
much.
constantly. Mm-hmm. But if you want to consider this as happening, here's chapter like 16.5. You can skip this if your eyes are too innocent.
Oh, I love it.
But he went ahead and wrote the whole, and it's fully detailed. It's
okay. I need to read that part.
I can find it online for you. That's where I read it.
Okay, I would like you to put that on a USB drive and hand that over.
Yeah, okay. So we don't talk too much about sharing porn. Then
wait, would it be hentai?
Hentai? No, it's not because it's just written.
There have been some fan hentai that was
hentai.
That was just...
I remember, this is just a weird thing because he's not here. Mark asked me when we were 12 years old, he goes, Rob, have you heard of hentai? In 6th grade. And I was like, what? You mean that Japanese crap? That sounds Japanese. I'm like, yeah, it is.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I think he went on Newgrounds or something. And
Oh, I remember Newgrounds.
Yeah.
Is it still up?
Yeah, it's up.
Wow, it's still running. I used to watch a lot of videos there.
Yeah, they had a lot of cool Flash stuff.
Back when Flash was like just started.
Flash was the shit.
Yeah.
I used to Flash animate when I was 12 and 13.
Nice.
What was
That's
I,
the Flash people.
What was I saying though? Yeah, so the novels are releasing and the manga are releasing, I believe, both in April and then again both in August. Volume 2 versus...
See, I just don't want to miss another sex scene. That's what I'm scared of.
I don't think there is another so far.
Yeah, I know. I'm just scared because what if there will be? Then I have to get the novel just to read that and then continue the manga.
I guess I don't. So you're just.
But you'll let me know.
You're gonna ignore it up to the point where the anime is at.
I guess I'll get the manga, but I guess I'll get the manga.
Yeah, I'm gonna get all the books.
I mean, eventually I want to get all the books of Attack on Titan.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah. I want to get the DVD.
If you start getting them used, like Goodwill on eBay sells manga usually for like $4.50.
Oh yeah.
So
but
like
the quality might not be that. I mean
they're used, but if you want them new, buy them new now, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think new ones actually might go up a little.
I might wait until Christmas because they might have some sales going on.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I don't know for you guys who are listening about if you have Amazon Prime, but they went up in price, at least with
to get Prime.
Yeah, because with my student, they said that it's not going to be 40; it'll be 50 now.
Damn.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't know if it went up. Normally it's 80. Does that mean now it's 90?
We don't know why we have Prime. We got a trial and it never ended.
So you never paid?
We still haven't been charged.
That's weird.
It's been like 9 months.
They're on top of that stuff. They already charged me.
And it's not a student thing that we did. Every year you get like a month to try. And it just didn't end.
Every year? I don't have that option.
We got offered a month of Prime for free and we took it like 2 or 3 years ago. And then they offered it again. After it says like it's been a year, would you like to try Prime again and see if you'd like to become a Prime member? And we did the trial and it just didn't end.
Again, Rob, you get lucky with not only games and now getting stuff for free.
We just have Prime for no reason on 2 accounts.
On 2 accounts, not just one. Wow.
Yeah, because we signed up one in like November for getting Christmas presents, and then we thought it was going to end the Prime, so my mom has a second account. We didn't make it to cheat them or anything. We had a second account. One was on my dad's credit card, one was on hers. And we did it on that one through December to order things for Christmas. And freaking just, they didn't go away.
I wish I could ever get that lucky in my life. With this stuff. Some stuff I'm lucky with.
Yes, some. Like you, I think you were luckier with getting cool things, definitely in the 90s and whatever. I have like no toys, and I bought almost all of my own games.
Wow.
Mostly everything in my room I bought myself. I started mowing the yard and mowing other yards when I was 9 to buy things. It took me 2 years to get my PS2. So,
well, I mean, I could say, yeah, I bought a lot, but
no, you're always telling me stories of your dad got you this, or like your parents getting you the 2 Mortal Kombat. Some parents are like, no, you're not getting one at that price.
Wow.
Like,
yeah, no. I don't know.
And you know they have the money for it too.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
that's what.
Based on like where I live and everything, it's like, really?
Yeah, I'm really shocked. I'm like, they didn't buy you that much. Like, really? Like
even my N64, my grandma got me, and my other grandma got me my PS1. I think the only console my parents bought me was my Genesis. They got it for $10.
Wow, my mom came home one time. I forget where she went, but she came home with a PlayStation. I didn't ask for it. I already had my N64.
I was asking for one.
Because that was a choice. They're like, do you want an N64 or PlayStation? And I was like, I'll stick with N64 because I don't know a PlayStation really, you know. And then she came back with the PlayStation. And I was like, hey there, Mr. PlayStation.
When I was, when I was 9 or 8, I think. I guess PS2 was, announced at least or coming out. And then when I was 9, it was released. So I started mowing the yards and whatnot. And when I was like 11, I finally got it.
Wow.
It took 2 summers. And
damn.
And then PS3 was announced a few years later, and when I told them how much it was, they had me tell my grandparents and whatnot, just so everyone at Thanksgiving could laugh. And he was like, yeah, wait, tell them how much it is. And then I said, it was like $400 or $500 and $550 with tax, almost. And they just laughed, they go, oh my. So I ended up having to buy that myself when I was 15, and then I it got fried by that lightning strike.
Oh, yeah.
So I spent total in my life on PlayStation 3, just the console, $1,100.
Oh my gosh.
Just buying PS3s.
I was shocked that I got that box set of 20th anniversary of Power Rangers, the helmet.
What do you mean that you got it?
Well, I was shocked that my parents got it for me.
That head thing?
Originally, I was going to buy it, yeah.
Yeah, I thought you paid for that.
No. I was about to buy it.
They just got it for you?
Yeah, I
thought you said you have to pay them back, like in...
That's the thing. I thought I was going to have to, and then they're like, do you just want that for a Christmas present? But I was thinking that's all I'd get. I got more stuff for Christmas.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't know how you did that.
This last Christmas I did get a lot, but...
Well, they also have my sister, too. Just like, you have your sister. They also got my sister something. And they're like,
How much was that thing?
$650.
Yeah, that's already $200 more than I got.
And then they said, well, we already bought, your sister something equal to that price. It was like a dining room set piece or whatever. But I was like, wow, I would take this over a dining set piece. But,
yeah, they didn't really see, like, the value in that. And then when I got my PS1 and when I got my N64, they were down at $100 at that time. So
wow.
I didn't get them at release or anything. I got my N64 in '99 and my PS1 in like 2001 or 2000 or 2001.
Huh.
So yeah, they were already. I mean, PS1 was 6 or 7 years old then. I had been playing them with my friends, and my friends brought them over, and I rented them before. Mm.
And I remember the good old renting days.
Renting consoles, not games, but renting consoles.
Blockbuster renting consoles.
Yep, and I even rented from other weird, just hole-in-the-wall places at malls and stuff. That's why we got the Genesis. Because we rented it 2 or 3 times. My dad and I played Double Dragon and, like, played a lot of Mortal Kombat on it together. And then we ended up buying one because I kept crying about it, that I wanted a console. And then the next day they brought one home.
It's kind of tricky, though. Like, they have Genesis 1 and then Genesis 2, and then, it's, like, kind of confusing. It's like, well, which one should I get?
You mean models?
Models, yeah.
Models 1 and 2?
It's like, which one should I get? And let's hope you have the right compatible one for, the CD that you will be getting.
The Sega CD or the 32X that I didn't know existed until, like, 2008.
32X, oh my gosh. How many games do you have for that again?
I have 2. I think I have 2. No, I have 1. I have Doom.
Will you catch up to it by Wii U games?
Yeah, I have 2 Wii U games. I think I have 2 or 3. I have Scribblenauts and I have Mario 3D World, which wasn't even on my Christmas list.
Wow.
And she bought it new, $50. Of course, now she'll go do that, right?
Try 60.
Was it 60? Yeah, so that took, $60 of my Christmas money, and it wasn't even on my list. I wanted it eventually, but I was going to get it when it was like 20. Like, used. I was fine with that. I wasn't excited for it. It wasn't on my list. My sister wrote it on her list, and my mom got it for me. She's like, you guys can play it together. Why'd that come off mine?
Yeah, that's not fair.
I didn't want to sound like an asshole say it, but I said it, like, in February. And she was like, oh, it wasn't on your... And I was like, no.
Oh, my God.
I didn't even ask for that. I would have...
Yeah, that wasn't fair, because they should have bought it for her, but then, that's her game. Yeah. And
instead,
then she could just
used it to fill in...
one of your lists.
One of my...
Yeah. That's not fair at all. You got screwed $60.
I get screwed some... That's all my point with all this was that I get screwed sometimes, and also all those games you see, like, 95% I bought.
Well, some of those... As I got older, I started getting more Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis games. So those were pretty much mine. But we're talking like
they bought maybe...
Toys.
They bought my first 4 Genesis games, I think. Buster's Hidden Treasure, Mortal Kombat, Sonic 2, and I mean a lot of the rest of them I got for Christmas 2 years ago.
Nice. Where did she get them off of eBay?
Yeah. My mom's been big into eBay since '90. I think our account is registered in '97 or 98. My mom's been on there forever.
Yo, mine's been 98 or 99.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom was selling back then.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, was selling on dial-up. Just doing eBay out of our basement, selling miniatures from dollhouse stuff. Anyhow, I had one last thing so we don't go on and on about stuff they can't see and they're not involved in. If anyone's still listening, then I hope you shared some of those cool feelings with us growing up, I guess.
Yeah.
Just, what we talk about. It's games. But the last thing I wanted to bring up that I usually avoid because it's my kind of topic, I want to see what RPGs have you played? Like, that's something I always want to talk about, but I don't feel like it would be too one-sided.
Yeah.
But if you got time for, like, Power Saves and Power Rangers and, Power this and Power that, you surprised me sometimes. Like, today I saw you had Inuyasha music on your iTunes, like, wait, what? And then the time you told me you've played through Final Fantasy VII, I'm like, what? I didn't know you even knew what a Final Fantasy is. And then you're telling me you've played through, albeit the most popular one, still, that you've had experience with it. Like, which others have you, like, played? We need to explore this.
Offhand, not really many that I could think of. Maybe, naturally, when we stop recording, I might think of some more, but...
That'll be fine. I'll toss it in for next week. I'll set a little notepad thing.
Because, I mean, I'm sure I have games that I could look through, but I can't with this in front.
That's fine. Well, what do you...
offhand, like you said, Final Fantasy, I'm trying to remember, obviously Mario RPG, that's a given, but...
Of course Mario RPG. It would be Mario RPG.
And, of course, Superstar Saga, those things.
Yes, but not Mario. Those. Not Mario.
Not Mario.
Can't keep going back to Mario.
Yeah, I'm trying to get away from that route.
Not a Nintendo first-party RPG. Well, okay, Mario RPG was Squaresoft anyway.
I played Earthbound.
Okay.
That's still Nintendo-based.
That's on a Nintendo system, and yeah, they made it, but that's fine. I meant not Mario.
Well, I played Earthbound.
Funny thing is, though, Mario RPG is third-party, so go figure.
RPGs.
You need me to throw out names?
Yeah, throw out names.
Okay, Dragon Quest.
No.
You played any Tales?
No.
You played any... what systems do you have going? You have Genesis? Do you play Star Ocean? Phantasy Star? Shining Force?
Nope.
Any... No Fire Emblem?
No.
You play... Well...
Does Battle Tanks count?
No, Battle Tanks is just an action game. I wish Battle Tanks was an RPG. That would be sick. You played Advance Wars.
Yes, yes.
It's not an RPG, but...
I liked Advance Wars a lot.
It was a tactical... Just tactics game, right? Yeah, just a strategy game.
I played Stratego. That was a good game. I played...
Did you play Mega Man Legends at all?
No, but I played the first Mega Man.
No.
No, wait, which one was on Super Nintendo?
Mega Man X?
Yes, I played that one.
Yeah, well, that's not an RPG, but Mega Man Legends is an RPG.
Oh, no.
Legends 2? Misadventures of Tron Bonne? No.
I played... I think this is an RPG. I played those X-Men Legend games. I've played...
X-Men Legends?
Yeah, X-Men Legends and X-Men Legends 2.
Have you played any Final Fantasy besides 7?
No.
Okay, and I guess you don't have any others on your Super Nintendo, you would know. I mean, I don't want to say it again, but then, like, what about, you played Paper Mario, right?
Oh, yeah, I played that.
That's a full-blown RPG. It's
Paper Mario, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, Paper Mario and Circus Star, I
think you're missing one. Super Paper Mario.
Yeah, played that too.
But again, that's just back to Mario. So
yeah, I mean,
it's a tough topic for me to bring up on like the podcast or in videos.
It is, especially you put me on the spot because I'm like, I don't want to waste time, but at the same time, I'm trying to think of.
And Pokemon counts, but
good. Well, yeah,
Pokemon simply is an RPG game, the main series. But like, you didn't play no Xenogears. I would go into PS2, but I'm very familiar with your PS2 library. So no Dark Cloud, no. Like,
I was all for action games mainly, but once the occasional RPGs I would play.
So if we can't discuss RPGs, like I guess just discuss maybe why
not?
You needed to be more plug and play, kind of.
Yeah, it was too. I'm not to say I don't like them.
You say what you want to say,
but it's just at that time. Yeah, no, I wanted something simpler. As I wanted more adventure, not this type that you had to. I want to actually battle the person, run up to them, cut them in half or whatever, instead of wait your turn.
Talk about it.
And poison.
Talk about it for half an hour, and then, like...
Yeah, there's a lot of talking, and then if you were like me growing up, and you kind of just skip a lot because you just want to get to the action, you miss what they're saying.
I would yell at kids or smack the controller out of their hand if they started skipping. Like, if Cloud or Squall is talking, you shut the fuck up and you read it.
Oh, yeah, at that time, when I was older, I was
8.
Oh no!
That was like
I didn't play the game when it first came out. I played it probably in 2004 or 5.
A lot of this is because I got introduced to this by my neighbor, who I thought was a super cool guy. He was 14 and I was 7, and he was. Okay. What I found out later is basically I was being babysat. I thought he was having me over to play games or watch. Like, all I did was watch. I never touched his PlayStation, like, ever. But he would just have me over, and to watch me, he'd be like, "Come in my room. You want a soda?" And I'd sit there and just be quiet for 2, 3, 4 hours and watch Final Fantasy Tactics 7, 8, and then when I got a PlayStation shortly before I moved, but he let me borrow FF7 and 8 and Tactics and play them. Then he sold me his Ocarina. He introduced me to Zelda. My Ocarina of Time is his copy with still his file on it.
Wow!
He gave it to me for $25 with 2 strategy guides.
Wow, that's really.
He needed
a
car, so he was selling me stuff.
$25.
It's again, those teenagers just do all that crap. Thankfully, I didn't sell that much, but I did sell my Kirby 64, Super Smash, when I was like 12. I don't know why. I think my mom did it at like a yard sale, but that, and I sold my Xenosaga. Because I just hated it for some reason when I was like 13. I was like, I can't believe I bought this shit. And then later, of course, I start playing the Xeno series. I'm like, shit, where's my Xenosaga? And I'm tearing through my PS2 collection. I'm like, where is it? I was like, oh, it's at a GameStop somewhere, I'm sure. And no, but I had to rebuy it. And of course, I bought 2 copies of Xenosaga 2, right? Because I called my mom and I was like, can you look at my thing and see if I have Xenosaga 2? And she goes, no, you don't. And I get home and
there it is.
Now I have 2 copies.
Yeah. Well, one good thing though is I may be, especially if people just give stuff away and stuff. I may be getting my first Super Nintendo back with my games and my controller.
Very nice. Oh, she has some of your games held up too.
What makes me mad is the fact that
you've rebought most of them.
And we're talking some. I rebought I rebought Super Mario All-Stars with Super Mario World, so that was even more than Mario All-Stars. But at least I'll be getting Mario All-Stars back.
Well, depending on, I don't know how you feel about it and whatnot, but if you don't want it to all be lost, I mean, I'd probably buy some of them if you don't want doubles.
I want doubles. I don't know. No,
then keep your doubles.
No, it all depends on what you want.
If there's just something you're like, oh man, I already rebought this, or I want my original, I don't need this extra.
Yeah.
They're probably all things I don't have because I'm not big on Mario, but if I want to complete, like, say the SNES Mario collection or something.
Definitely.
Stuff to talk about.
Yeah, and this is in the future again. When she offered it, I kind of, because I gave it to. I was kind of
forced into giving it to her.
Yeah, I was kind of forced into giving it to her.
Yeah.
And because I felt bad, and that I was even getting forced to, because apparently I had too many systems.
How many did you have? 3?
I had, not including my Game Boy. I had Super Nintendo, I had N64 and PlayStation. And, I didn't even have a Genesis at the time. So apparently 3 systems were too many. So I had to give up my oldest one. And I regretted it ever since. But she was so happy and whatever, and, she's my relative.
Probably played it for like an hour.
No, she was honest. She played it a lot.
Oh, wow.
But then when she got older and, more older and stuff like that, she hasn't touched it for the past, 5 years.
Wow,
and so it's just sitting in her room at her house, and she offered it back to me, and me being, it wasn't the right time or right place that I felt like I should have got it back. So I will, in the future, maybe on my birthday, just be like, hey, do you, by any chance... Yeah. I'll bring it up, and of course she'll still have it. I'll just be like, are you playing it at all? And she'll be like, oh, I told you to have it. Then I'll be like, can I have it?
Just careful, because I think you mentioned once how she gave away that Game Boy or whatever.
So yeah, but she knows not to give away my stuff that she...
Is that the Temple of Time? Yeah, that's the Temple of Time.
Yeah. I don't think she would, because that Game Boy was hers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was originally hers, but I wish she wouldn't have. The one thing that I really wish... And I remember when I took the game from her, she's like, oh, do you want the Game Boy too? Because it was still in the case.
You said no for some reason.
I said no because I already had one. And because I had one, but hers was in such good condition because she hardly played hers.
Yeah, yeah.
And she had the box. And I'm like, why did I say no? And she probably did what other people did. Not that she needed money, but she gave it away, actually. Gave it away to someone for free. It's like, when you give something to someone, it's for free.
Even when I gave my sister that N64 last night, I said, there's one rule to this, and that's, I get to borrow it whenever I want. If something goes wrong with mine, or I need some of these cables, I'm taking them.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use them. I'll bring them back, but I'm taking them for the night if I need them.
Yep, that's a fair deal.
If it's Nintendo and it's in the house, I can grab it whenever I want.
Just want to say, what if you move out, well, then it's all hers?
I'll take my two with all their cables.
Okay.
But I'm just... the new one I got works very well, so if mine's being finicky for the night, I'll probably go grab hers. If I move out, I'll probably just man up, buy another one. They're like all of $35, so it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, I really like to introduce you to more like RPG series or something, because now that you're older and have like the attention span for it, I guess that's kind of what it was. I was big into reading too when I was little, so that didn't bother me at all. I didn't mind like the slow action. I preferred the payoff.
Well, I used to read a lot of, well, I don't know what kind of books you read, but I was into Goosebumps and Animorphs.
I read a lot of... I remember I was so proud of myself. We went to Pizza Hut one night, and I finished a Goosebumps book. I think it was Beast from the East. I completed Beast from the East from the time I got into the car. I didn't talk to anyone at dinner or anything. From the time I got in the car to the time we pulled back into the garage.
Wow.
I completed Beast from the East.
You ate?
Yeah. I was speed reader max. I would read like 8 hours a day.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was like nuts. It was like an hour and a half total trip, and I read all of Beast from the East, which I loved, by the way. The ending, that twist ending.
I loved it.
The twist ending was solid.
So good.
I reread it when I was like 15. I was like, this was so good.
Yeah. A lot of those books were good.
Some kids were looking at me weird because I was in high school reading Beast from the East.
You know, and it's things because Animorphs is so rare too, and it's like when I got back into them.
What do you mean rare? Like to buy now?
Yeah, to buy.
Because I was gonna say back in the day, like
no, it was so bad.
Yeah.
And now I finally last Christmas, I finished all, like, we're talking even the side books, all books I have, the VHSs, the original releases, I have those, and yeah, I was excited.
We definitely need to do a show with a camera. Just like one time we'll face this way, one time we'll face this way, and that way, and that way, so we can see everything. Sometime I'll pull my two what do you want, shelves? Mm-hmm. My two shelf things together into one like wall, and we'll be in front of that.
Ooh, okay. One thing I want to mention, if we're going to use mine, even though I'm a video major, I don't have. It's not like I'm a freelancer where I take my equipment with me because I don't have any. So I have a camera a video recorder that is standard def, so it probably only goes up to 480. So that's the only thing that's wrong. I don't know
what mine is. I think mine might do like 720. I don't know.
I think I might have mine with me, but we can look at it after. It's either 480 or 720. I want to say 720 only because I didn't buy mine that long ago. It was like 5 years ago, so 720 was still around.
Yeah, it's possible. Anyway, that's more to talk about off camera or off microphone as it may be.
Yeah, I just want to mention to them that if the quality's a little down, it's not going to be the best because we don't have time to buy a camera.
I don't think there's all that many people listening that super care.
Well, I don't. Yeah, just in case.
Just in case. Yeah, like in my case, I was introduced to those games by someone I thought was like super cool, and that I was big into reading. And it helped teach me to read. I would sit on the floor in the living room where my PlayStation was and ask Mom the words I didn't know as I played through. And I got to where I could speedrun the first discs of most of those games, like in 3 or 4 hours. I could beat disc 1 of a Final Fantasy game. I still can't do it now. Trying to do it, I'm like, how did I don't know. And I would do it like without using magic or something.
Wow.
And yep.
My babysitter were females, and let's just say they were great. We played actually Mario.
That's cool.
A lot of Mario, and I remember there was one time when she brought up, like, oh, have you seen the Mario Brothers movie? I was like, what? She's like, yeah, it's live action. I was like, wait, what? They made a live action Mario? I didn't believe her. I was a little kid, too. I was just, like, in shock trying to find it. And then when I found it years later, got on VHS, like good old VHS. I watched it. I was like, what's going on?
I watched Star Wars on VHS last year. I have the 3, I think you have it, too, the box set with the original trilogy.
Yep, the original trilogy.
Yeah, on
I
VHS.
have that and the re-release of that, and then the re-release of that on VHS.
All 3 re-releases?
I think there were 3. There might have only been 2, but I have...
Why?
Well, at the time I had the original, and then the re-release had the upgraded scenes in them.
Oh, okay, when they changed...
When they released it in the theaters with the, Jabba the Hutt, the actual... Some extra scenes. I liked that, so I bought that.
That's cool. I didn't know you were, into Star Wars, really.
Yeah, oh yeah, and when the first 3 came out, like the 1, 2,
you
and 3...
weren't alive then!
The first 3 meaning... Not 4, 5, and 6. The first 3 meaning 1, 2, and 3 in 2000.
Okay, episodes 1, 2, and 3. I'm talking about...
You're talking about 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, I'm talking about that too, yeah. I was, and then I migrated to... I am a fan of Star Wars. I do like Star Wars.
New Hope, Return of the Jedi, those. Not Phantom Menace and Clone Wars.
The Dark Side. Not that. Not those new ones, but I was a fan of them too. So,
yeah. I guess that's everything plus a few topics. So
oh yeah.
Want to start playing some games?
Heck yeah! What were we gonna play in there, Rob?
I'm gonna play some Eco. Eco's good, but we're not doing it on camera this time.
No.
So sad. But
yeah. I wonder if it would work on this TV.
Probably.
It probably would.
Is there an HDMI in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't bring the stuff.
I know. I figured you did. I didn't.
Of course not. Of course not.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been real. And
it has.
We'll catch you in a week or 2.
Yeah. Ciao.
See ya.